want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Yeah, we ran out of patience. Boil up with the cold hard hatred. I can feel the vibration. Feet in the streets, it's a new sensation. I wanna break faces on the pavement. I wanna make greatness look complacent. Adrenaline awakened, I can taste it. We can make an impact, grab and then take it. Like a disease, bring them to their knees. A day for them to see. Rage is like a wind, spread into the streets. It's time to make them bleed. 'Cause we just want retribution. Let's go light up the darkness. Make true of an empty promise. Flip cards into weak and harmless. Take to the streets and turn them to a mosh pit. 'Cause we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Yeah, we ran out of patience. Boil up with the cold hard hatred. I can feel the vibration. Feet in the streets, it's a new sensation. I wanna break faces on the pavement. I wanna make
All right, guys, let's get this party started. If you want a reading, be sure and visit my stand store. It is linked in the description below. And as always, we have a fair use, a disclaimer. As you come in, please hit the thumbs up, subscribe if you're not subscribed, and share the video if you like it. Let's get it going. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. And guess who had a shower? Oh my God, I feel human now. Oh, I feel so human. It's like when you show up for work and you just are just nasty, you just don't feel like working. Yeah, that's the way I felt earlier today. But we push through it, right? We push through what it is, my values with teaching. And it was just so yucky, but I pushed through it. And that's what the dark moon wants us to do, is to push through whatever it is that we are feeling yucky about, especially having to do with the past. Anything that would have to do with the past, whether it be the past religious experience, the past court experience, any type of past experience, essay, things of that nature. That's what the dark moon is doing. And so tonight, I want to welcome you guys in. Please hit the thumbs up because we're going to deep dive. We're going to deep dive with the astrology with Sebastian. We're going to deep dive with things of the past. Okay. And then I want to show you the astrology. So just settle in. Okay. Just settle in. If you don't understand something, by all means, ask. Ask me to go deeper to explain something more. Okay. But by means, ask me no matter what it is. Don't care if you just feel stupid. This is not stupidity. This would be ignorance because you just don't know. Well, you don't know unless you ask, right? Witchy Witchy Mama, you were just in the live. How are you not a member? You were just in the live for members only, aren't you? Yes. Girl, what's going on anyway? Welcome to the Watchers again. How'd that happen? Like, I know I saw you in the members only. It was definitely a members only, right? I do feel, oh my God, I feel so much better. I feel so much better. My hair smells good. Man, it was rough. And it's hey, I've been without water for a week. Not that I went without a shower for a week or a bath without a week. I'm just saying it can get rough out here in the sticks. When you're on, when you're on spring water and it can get pretty nasty, like literally. But anyways, guys, thank you for being in here. Witchy Mama says, yes, ma'am, had to re-up the gifted membership. Oh, bless it. But thank you. Thank you for supporting. Hey, Jeff, again. Hi, everybody. And little Miss Sharon is showing up. Hello, honey. Hey, Jill is back. Thank you guys for coming in. Hey, Seth. Hey, Seth. We're going to be talking about that boy, that nice young man of yours. But yeah, we're going to be talking about him. So let's get right into it because I think that first I want to show you the transits. And then I want to get down into what I want to go back into the past about. Okay. I want to go back into the past about something. And then I'll show you the transits of why it is. And I'll just pull it all together. Okay. I'm going to try to have this a really good live. And like I said, if you don't understand anything, just let me know. Okay. But make sure you hit that thumbs up. Okay. We got to get this out there to other people that are interested in Sebastian Rogers' case. Okay. All right. So do that for me. If y'all haven't done it, it's okay. Even if you're in the bushes, even if you're a hater, just hit the thumbs up. Hate on that because y'all are going to be mind blown. I think, anyway. I think you'll be mind blown. I always try to give that experience on here. So here we go. Let me go ahead and share my entire screen with you guys. That way we can look at the astrology right now because right now is what I want to talk to you about with Sebastian. Let me bring him up. I've been looking at all kinds of different people with him. Even Rachel Rogers. Let's go. Sebastian. Let me find him again. Where are you at, Sebastian? I've been waiting for this moment to talk to you guys about this. Let's go ahead and duel it out. Hold on. Let's do it with the transits right now. Like right now. I can see that the moon has already come over his moon. That's what I wanted. That's what I wanted. That moon to be conjunct with his moon. His moon is in Aries in the 4th house. So what we're looking at is right here. So with his mother, impatience is the name of the game. She can be impatient, but she definitely wants him to be independent of her. She does not want him to be hanging out at home for a long time. This is also about war. anything having to do with the military. Aries, we're going to look at it as a type of military, okay? And then we're going to break this down for a minute, okay? So it could be some type of schooling, something that the military has recommended that's a hush hush. Y'all know the drill, okay? If you don't believe in corruption, just look at the FBI, look at the CIA, look at the Secret Service, look at Charlie Kirk, look at all the stupid shit that is going down. And if tell me you don't believe in corruption, I'm not saying that any of these, agents that we have, the TBI or the FBI would be, corrupt, but I can't say that they're not. I really can't because, the world that we live in today, it's really hard to trust anybody in authority anymore. You don't know what's real, what's not, who is being forthright, who's not, who's really doing their job and showing up and showing out, not being yucky, right? So the moon has already come over his moon and it is stationing before it came to his moon. The moon reflected with the things that we don't see, the things that are really cloudy when it comes to their military career, their military confidants, colleagues, what have you. But tonight, right now, this 2212 in Sagittarius is sitting right here. This means that the dark moon we are reflecting with something dark from the past. And this Sag energy could have a lot to do with different things. We could name it down, to every one type of behavior that this could be. But tonight, rather than talking about fire, flight, river, higher learning, military school, courts, I'm just going to take it to the courts. Okay. I'm going to take it to the court because that is something that was going on when Sebastian went missing is there was court battle. There was a court battle. We all know this. There was a court battle. Whether anybody had anything to do with it or not, there was a court battle. We all know this. Sagittarius is about the courts. It can be, okay? So this is about the media. The media with Mercury and the communication, the power of the mind. But media is Mercury is mostly the media. And so I don't know who else is going to be live about Sebastian tonight. And as a matter of fact, I don't know what kind of lead that has come in. I don't know what kind of lead that has come in, guys. Don't know. So this dark moon sitting on the media, on the power of the mind, the communications about the courts, and then there's a lead because this is bringing information into Sebastian. It's opposing relationships with communications and partnerships. Sebastian rises and descends with this axis of Scorpio and Taurus. And this is all about the investigations and money, the earth, things that are hidden, things that are contained, investigations, right? So this is where I want to take us. I don't know what is coming. I don't know what is coming with the dark moon because she's here. And then in just a few hours, she's going to go here. Actually, it'd probably be in the morning. It'd probably be tomorrow. It'll probably be tomorrow. Okay. And then she is coming for her great return to Sebastian's dark moon. The dark moon is coming for that great dark moon return. And so we just wait. That's coming in August. That will be in August. So your new moon, solar eclipse in Leo, full moon, lunar eclipse in Pisces for Sebastian, who I'm talking about. This is going to be a big deal. And I'm about to show you why. I'm about to show you why here in just a minute on the map. Because I think that this Pisces, okay, this Pisces home for Sebastian, that's where the full moon lunar eclipse will be right here. Old crone. And it's about the mama. It's about his home. It is about the home, the genealogy, anything having to do with Cancerian energy here. But I'm going to get into this because you're I think that, you're hidden even though you're playing the tape all the way through before we actually, actually get there. I like it. I like the way you're thinking. I like the way you're thinking. So, thank you for that question. Because when it comes to the map, you're going to see why. I think that it's a great question. But we're going to get there, okay, guys? We're going to get to the map. But first, I want to go over certain things with you. Oh, thank you so much. Peace, love, Jeeps. Thank you so much for sending me that sweet flower state. Thank you, babe. Thank you. Thank you. Y'all be sure and hit that thumbs up, guys. Hit it. Click it. Come on. Y'all got this. Okay, so here is something else that I definitely want to make sure that I tell you about is that there's going to be a lot of enlightenment that is coming with this investigation with the TBI. Hopefully, it is with this investigation, but it's definitely going to be with an investigation. It's coming. It's just not here yet. But what is here yet is that there is an activation. There is an activation with the TBI's chart, and it's been in transit for quite a hot minute. This 1318, and I'm going to show it to you here just a second. But it's in Pisces. So the divine justice, okay, the divine justice is right here. The divine justice with the TBI in Pisces is right here. It's a 1318. And what it's doing is it's activating a certain degree in the TBI's. Let me get them up. In the TBI's chart. So that 1318, the degrees in our chart literally matter in the state of matter. Okay. So the 1318 is where there is a justice with communications. And so let me tell you something. If the TBI were doing their job, and Lord knows we have just beat them up on on our social media. But if the TBI would do their job during this phase with Sebastian, because what's going to happen is Saturn is coming here. Saturn is coming to this 1426 and going to sit there about things of the past with warring. And it could have something to do with the head. It could have something to do with the military, have something to do with the past offender, someone in the past that they have investigated, maybe even somebody in the family. I don't know. But there is communications that can be found with the TBI. There are certainly communications. And see this 359 that is in their 11th house of groups? Because this is where the justice is how they bringing in money, prisons, hospitals, things of the past. Fifth house of kids, this 359. And I know that there's a lot of stuff that's been talked about with, other cases. Summer Wells, But this 359, if we go back to the transits, that's also being activated in the TBI's chart. So the TBI, right before I came live, the TBI for, I don't know, right before I came live. So the last few hours, the 359 was being activated in the TBI's chart. And there has just been a relationship. Okay. There's just been a relationship that was probably, last night. There is a relationship. And this relationship is Juno is sitting right here in the third house of communications with the siblings. It's about Utah, possibly about Utah. But there is a relationship that is opposing his views with the courts, his view with religion, his view with a higher learning here about kids and education. Anything having to do with that ninth house with the military, judges and courts. So let's get to that because I want to talk about the courts. I want to talk about that. And look, Venus in the eighth house right now is at a 2658. So it's about the values. All the attention with Sebastian, if he could hear it right now, this is about his values. the things that are hidden with education, with other kids, parks, recreation areas. But all of that, really, I mean, Venus is still right here in the ninth house. She's right here. But that relationship that just opposed his part of fortune, he's got a lot going on. And I can tell that his mother does too. The FBI is having a warring with them all week. But there's a lot of limits and obstacles with the burden and the breakup with Katie and money, Katie and her values. I can see it as plain as day. And anybody that's had a reading by me, you know what I know what I'm talking about. This is a media. There is something happening with Sebastian right now, and it could have to do with the TBI, and we won't know. So we got to remember these days, July 6th and July 7th. There is a media. There is some type of media attention. There's a video. There is an attorney. There is something happening here. So let's go ahead and let's work this energy out, because I don't know how else to do it except to just work it out the way that I'm seeing it could be done. And I'm not seeing anybody else live about Sebastian. Do y'all? Do y'all see any media going on? This should be happening with him right now. It should be happening with him right now. And I don't. I do know that, there are certain things that could come about. We may hear later, could be with the TBI, could be with something else. I don't know. But what I do know is that the media is all over Sebastian right now. The media is all over him right now. There is a higher learning, and we are going back into the past with something court-worthy, something that is court-worthy, with a DA, with building a case. That's what I'm thinking. I could be wrong. I don't know. But this is what I want. This is where I want to take us. I want to take us back with Court TV, and we're not going to listen to all of it. Okay. We're not going to listen to all of it, because y'all know I get bored, and I want to show you guys. I want to move on and show you guys the rest of the transits and what was happening when Sebastian went missing, and look at his map, because it's going to be so important. So I'm not going to listen to a whole lot of this, but I want to show you kind of where I'm going with this, because this is all I know that could be working itself out right now. And I'm sure I'm a little bit right, but a lot of wrong. But we're going to see. We'll end up finding out one way or the other. We're coming back. We'll come back to this, and we'll revisit this time period. But check this out, okay? This is Court TV. I give full credit to Court TV, and this, let me go ahead and put the link in the chat for you guys. There it is. Full credit. Full credit. Court TV, okay? Using this for commentary.
Beautiful neighborhood in Hendersonville, Tennessee, there is an unsolved mystery. It was a Sunday night going into a Monday morning, and 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers was supposed to be inside his home sleeping. His mother, Katie Proudfoot, says he went to bed at 9, but was making some noise around 10, including a thud sound. Katie told him to go to sleep. She went to bed around midnight. Then at 6 a.m., Katie woke up. She went to his room to get him ready for school, but Sebastian was gone. She searched the house, and he was nowhere to be found. Sebastian's stepfather, Chris Proudfoot, was not home, and Sebastian's father, Seth Rogers, was at work about 45 minutes away. Police responded and began trying to figure out what happened. That was back on February 26th. And now, more than a month later, no sign of Sebastian, no sign of foul play, and no answers about what happened. Tonight, we'll take a look at their relationships, legal battles, and tension that could have impacted Sebastian as we continue our investigation into the mysterious disappearance of Sebastian Rogers. I'm Vinny Politan. Thank you so much for joining us tonight here on Closing Arguments. We're going to dive deep into this story and search for something here, something, because something happened. This young man didn't just disappear. This young boy didn't just vanish. Something happened.
That's right. Something happened. He did not just disappear.
That made him leave that house, or something happened in that house, or something happened before he got back to the house. But something happened. This isn't a case of like, I don't know, he just vanished. No, that's not the answer. That's never the answer, by the way. But in this case, we're talking about a 15-year-old boy with autism. Didn't just vanish. Something happened. Now, what was going on here with the adults in his life? And this is going to be the focus of this hour. Because the more you dig into their relationships and prior relationships, you'll learn that there's a lot going on here. There's a lot going on, both the relationship between themselves and their relationship with children, etc. So there's a lot going on here. And we're going to dig through some of it that we've been able to uncover with the help of our guests tonight. But when you think about Sebastian's world, his world is not huge. When we're children, our worlds are much smaller. Our worlds are primarily our home environment and what's going on there, and then school.
You know, the picture that he has displayed right there of Seth and Katie and Chris, it kind of really depicts them if you think about it. I don't know about you guys, but it kind of really does depict them. Like, Seth is like, what the hell? And she's like, I know what happened. And then he's got this, attitude with his nose up. I don't know. It kind of depicts them. Maybe it's just me.
With kids today, obviously their world expands with their use of the internet and connections with people, whether they know them or don't know them, from potentially anywhere. But from what we've heard so far, it seems there were limitations on that for Sebastian, that he wasn't a child or a typical teenager who is on social media as a gamer, talking to people from wherever, because that's extremely common. Yeah, people talk to their friends, but they also come into contact with people who they don't know who they are. We don't think that was necessarily part of his world, so I think Sebastian's world a little bit smaller than most teenagers. So hands on some documents out of California involving some allegations there. So you'll get a little bit of an idea tonight about how bad this was. I don't think it was a good split. Most splits aren't, by the way. And a lot of times they get much worse when there are children and custody becomes an issue and a battle. And, a couple that's together, they're together for a reason. At one point, when things go south, it gets very emotional. So any of you who've been through that would understand. And we have experts, we're going to talk about this tonight. The other question is Chris Proudfoot tonight, which is Sebastian's stepfather. Did he want Sebastian out of the house? Because that was his primary residential location, was in the house with Chris and with Katie. And Chris has another child, a daughter from a prior relationship.
And we're going to get into that as well tonight.
And we know that when Sebastian said to Seth that he had changed his mind or that he wanted to do the schooling with Seth, when Seth told Chris that, he acts so surprised, almost like it was a game changer. It would have been a game changer for Chris. That's the way it came across to me anyway.
Did he want Sebastian out for whatever reason? He may have a very good reason. He may not. But you'll recall in my interview with Seth Rogers, he talked about that. And it seems that there was some level of an agreement between Seth and Chris that Sebastian should not be in that house with Chris and Katie, his mother and stepfather. So let's take a listen to that part of my interview.
Most of my discussions were actually taken care with Chris. And Sebastian was supposed to come live with me. Chris was working on Katie, on getting her to agree to it. And all I wanted was my son to come live with me.
So if Chris is working on Katie, that means Chris is in agreement that Sebastian should not be in that house. Now, why he wants him out, I think there's a couple things we can talk about here, but I think the takeaway there is, if you take Seth Rogers at his word, no reason not to, these two men, the father and stepfather, communicating and agreeing, okay, but mom seems to be the holdout, wanting to keep him there. So let's talk about that and talk about some of the other complications in the lives of the adults in Sebastian's life. Joining me, two true crime live streamers. First in Portland, Oregon, Gray Hughes of Gray Hughes Investigates. Great to have you back. And joining us in Bristol, Tennessee, Trevor Lee of Trev Time on YouTube. Thank you for joining us, Trevor. Both of you doing great work covering this story. That's why you're on tonight. Let's start with a look at the house. And Gray, we did this last night based upon one of the things you were doing. But let's take a look at that area of the house. 3 bedrooms that we can identify. And Gray, I think the significance here is twofold. First, last night, why don't you go through and identify the 3 bedrooms here? Because Sebastian's is labeled here. That's the front of the house.
Yeah, Sebastian's bedroom is in the front of the house. If you're looking at the house, it's on the right-hand side. And then straight back behind him is Faith's room. That's the one in the bottom right-hand corner. And the one in the upper right-hand corner is the master bedroom, likely where Katie and Chris would sleep.
So that's the big bedroom, top right on your screen, bottom right on your screen, Chris's daughter from another relationship. Significant. Let's take you inside the house so you can see these again. And Gray, let's go through. We have bedroom number 1. This one we believe is the primary bedroom. And again, this is from redfin.com. So Gray, this would be the one where Chris and Katie are.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the master bedroom. You can see the 2 windows far apart. And if you see a shot from the back of the house, you can see when you're in the back, the far right has the 2 windows far apart.
All right, bedroom number 2. Let's take a look at this one.
I love to Scranton Strangler. Good to see you. Good to see you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out. We got a lot to cover tonight. Please hit the thumbs up, guys. I think that this is perfect because Trevor Lee is on here. And the dark moon first came to and activated the state of Tennessee's Chiron. And the Chiron for them goes to Seth. They share pain with Seth. And then it goes to Sebastian. The dark moon literally sits on that media. So I thought that this was something perfect to express this energy because I don't know what is expressing itself with Sebastian right now. So this is what I'm doing because the dark moon is literally sitting on his Mercury in the first house in Sagittarius. So it would be, I mean, that's why I chose court TV. Could be with the courts and the past court battle with Faith.
Now, would this be the one for Chris's daughter when she's at the house, or would this be the one for Sebastian? What do we think?
That one is Sebastian's room because it looks like a large square window by itself. That's in the front right of the house when you're looking at it.
Okay, and then the final one would be when Chris's daughter comes and stays with them, this one. Now, are all these bedrooms on the same level?
Yeah, they're all on the same level. That window right there looks out to the backyard, and so does the master bedroom as well. So they're both in the back of the house, and Sebastian's is the only bedroom that was in the front. And they're all on the first level. There's a bonus room upstairs too. It just looks like a place you could put a pool table, and how it's large, but it's not a bedroom.
Okay, now we keep mentioning Chris's daughter, Trevor Lee. In one of your live streams on YouTube, everyone's talking about it. You interviewed a woman named Nina Gomez. Explain to us who she is and generally what you talked about, and then we're going to play a clip from that interview. Give us a little background.
Yeah, Vinny. So Nina Gomez is Chris Proudfoot's ex-wife, and they share a child together. Faith is her name, and she's about 7 years old. And so she came forward to me asking to tell her story, and she kind of just broke down the timeline and events from their marriage, including issues with custody and family issues and things of that nature.
Okay, and she's in Albuquerque, New Mexico now? She's not in Tennessee?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So with that in mind, they have a shared child, custody, always an issue. Let's take a listen to some of Trevor Lee's interview with Nina Gomez, Chris Proudfoot's ex-wife.
He's been filing for full custody, Christopher, for about 1 year to 2 years now, if I recall. A lot of this stuff is just, it doesn't make sense to me. He's made a mess. He tells people that I'm unstable, that I need a psychiatric evaluation, that I'm, that I'm pretty much crazy. It's like back and forth. It's like a game to Christopher. With Christopher dangles over my head as if she's like some kind of toy to be played with. She's not a toy. She's a little girl that has feelings and strong feelings. We can't help the fact that Christopher decided to move to Tennessee. He chose that for himself. I've never known of a person that lives in a whole different state and still dictates what you can and can't do to the other parent. He had a choice to live here. He was actually told to move here by the judge. We were supposed to go to trial March 5th, I believe it was. He calls me that Wednesday, and he's like, and I was like, oh, great, he's calling. So I went straight to voicemail. And then he had said 911. Call me. So then I was like, well, it must be emergency. So let me call him. I called him. And I said, what's up, Chris? And he was like, he's like, Nina, I got to tell you something. And I was like, And in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, he's going to tell me that the trial, we're not going to go to trial, that everything is going to be done with, and we don't need to worry, and we can, we don't need to do all this stuff. I mean, that's what I'm thinking. And then he tells me, I got to be open and honest with you. And then he pauses like for 6 or 7 seconds, and I'm like, well, I was like, what? What do you have to tell me? So then at that point in time, he tells me that Sebastian went missing. And I was speechless. I have to say, I was speechless. And then I went into saying, well, what happened? Like, how did he go missing? Like, what happened? And he said, well, he went missing between 12:30 and 6 a.m. And I'm like, it's thinking to myself, and then, like, that's crazy. And I said, don't you have security cameras, Christopher? I said,
All right, Trevor, I didn't know any about this, that he's in the midst of a custody battle for his daughter, and in the middle of a custody battle just before a trial date, the child that's living in his house, which is Sebastian, goes missing. The timing of this is jaw-dropping.
Absolutely. And I think that's what drew so many people to the knowledge of the custody case, is because of how active it is, and the fact that so many key dates were coming up at the same time that Sebastian disappeared.
Gray, as you think about this, in trying to understand what happened, from my perspective, it's like a child doesn't just disappear. There has to be something that triggers either the child to leave or something to happen to the child. And this is an indication from this perspective that there are things happening in the adults' lives surrounding Sebastian. And it seems like there is some tension in the air here.
Yeah, the case is so messy right now. I mean, you have this kid that just apparently disappears. Sebastian just disappears out of thin air, but we know that doesn't happen. You can come up with all kinds of theories. Did something happen at home, and then Chris is helping, make that go away, or did Chris do something and to try to take away from I guess now we can say, from this hearing, to maybe delay it or something, or did Sebastian leave because he wanted to be with his dad? The dad, they were trying to arrange it where he would be with him. So maybe Sebastian just took off and went with him. I mean, you can come up with a million different theories here. But yeah, anytime you have dates associated with something happening, you see this a lot in custody battles in court, where a woman goes missing a week prior to a court hearing. But yeah, anytime you have dates, so Sebastian just did or something, or did Sebastian leave because he wanted to be with his dad? The dad, they were trying to arrange it where he would be with him. So maybe Sebastian just took off and went with him. I mean, you can come up with.
What'd you say? He took off and went with him? Went with him where? How did he not get caught? Not being at work. I mean, being at Seth's job and being at Chris's job or at a campsite, that's a little different. Okay. So yeah, I can see where this is taking us back into the past with the courts. I can totally see where this is taking us back into the court with the battle between Chris and Nina. All the stress, all the immature, emotional blow-ups that Chris is known to have. I mean, he just is. We have seen evidence of that, of his emotional outbursts. We know that him and Nina were going through a court battle. Why he wanted Faith, I would look to his mother. I would look to control. I don't think that they really wanted to be a family unit with Sebastian. There was things going on. We all know this. We've heard them talk. But no, we are getting off a topic here. Sebastian did not show up on any video. So the Mercury, the dark moon that is sitting on the Mercury, we are reflecting with the video as well. And any type of higher learning about a vehicle, where he went. We are reflecting on the police, on the military, on the DA, and any type of video that would show Sebastian. Was it the only video that they think that is Sebastian that they know the way that Katie said, the FBI cleared it up. She could clearly see Sebastian walking the trash to the street. We haven't seen that. Seth hasn't seen that. So we are looking at the Mercury. Any type of video, any type of surveillance, any type of communications that would have been going on during his missing event. Where is he? This is the dark moon too, with the courts, with court TV, with this interview. There is some things of the past that we are just going back to. And when I show you on the map, you're going to understand. I think so. I think you're going to understand a little bit more why I'm taking you with this direction, okay? This route. Because it's all building up. This is all basically a build up to Sebastian's dark moon return with the courts, with the judges, with the police, the military. I'm telling you, there's a higher learning here. And we're going to learn. We're going to learn.
A million different theories here, but yeah, anytime you have dates associated with something happening, you see this a lot in custody battles in court where a woman goes missing a week prior to a court hearing, and then it's almost usually somebody related to the opposite side in the hearing who's responsible.
Yeah, we have a case. We have a case almost exactly like this, Gray. Ashley Benefield down in Florida. There's a big hearing coming up in court, and a couple of days before that hearing, she shoots and kills her husband, who she's in this battle with, and is claiming self-defense, but she concedes that she shot and killed him. But it's exactly what you're saying. It's related to a date. So, Trevor, in this conversation with Nina, and this lasted about, 2 hours you were speaking with her. It's fascinating. Everyone needs to check it out after the show here. After the show, Trevor, we always do that. After the show, people can watch your stream because it's amazing. But what was your takeaway about the relationship between Nina and Chris, and how bad was it?
Yeah, and just like you had opened up with Vinny, I mean, every split gets ugly. You get messy with that. That's not unheard of. But some of the stories in there were, to me, were jaw dropping. Just hearing some of the things that she's gone through, and that that Chris or his even his family, as she included sometimes, have reportedly put her through over these years. It was a lot to take in.
All right, our true crime live streamers staying with us. We're going to hear more about Chris Proudfoot and his ex. We're going to bring in some more experts. Plus, coming up next hour.
In Los Angeles, California, more trouble for Sean Diddy Combs and his family. A new civil lawsuit. Will the feds?
Chad Daybell.
That's how I ended. He came out from San Diego. Christopher said it was going to be too hard to rented a U-Haul, packed all our stuff, and we pretty much left. That's how I ended up in Hendersonville, Tennessee. That's when my whole life changed. That's when my nightmare happened.
That's Nina Gomez. She is the ex-wife of Sebastian Rogers' stepfather. She's apparently in a custody battle with Chris Proudfoot, who is Sebastian Rogers' stepfather. And she spoke to Trev Time on YouTube. Trevor Lee is the host of that. I want to play a little more of this because as she gets into these details, you'll learn a little bit more about the adults who are in the world of this missing boy, Sebastian Rogers. Let's watch.
I thought everything was great in the beginning. I mean, everything's always perfect, like I said. And then I started seeing bits and pieces of how Christopher really was. I was a stay-at-home wife due to my son being so young. I wanted to, enjoy those years with him. Then my daughter went to school right down the street. So I was home every single day. And it just started seeing like Christopher changed like night and day. It was awkward. I felt really uncomfortable after a while. We would argue about just the smallest things. And a lot of it also had to do with how he disciplined my children. And as time went on, I could see him getting more aggressive and more aggressive. And I stood up for my kids all the time. I didn't like how he talked to them, how he wanted them to stand in the corner all the time. And I didn't like that. So I stayed a little bit longer. I ended up eventually getting pregnant with. I remember telling him that I was pregnant, and he wasn't happy about it. So I called my parents back home here in Albuquerque, and I said, well, Christopher wants me to get an abortion with. And my parents said, no, you're not. And I said, I'm not. We left again after a couple days. We came home to Albuquerque. And still, I tried working it out where we were at, but it just wasn't working. I wanted out. And I had on my own. Ended up going back into the NICU. She ended up getting jaundice, and she went back to the NICU. So she was in the NICU, I want to say, for a week to a week and a half. And that was when Kathy, Chris's mother, came out, flew down with her brother, Duran Guy, or they call him Big D. They came down, and she was in the NICU. And that was when I felt like a plan was made, because like I said, our marriages it was on the rocks. And one of my neighbors had told me in San Diego, they had warned me, they had said, Dina, be careful, because Christopher is coming up with a plan with his mother. And they're planning on taking the baby away from you. And I hear a knock at the door. And I was like, oh, great, is home. And it was Kathy's friend, Patty, that's an attorney. And she said, called me by my real name, Gomez. And I was like, yeah. And she said, you've been served. She said, you have a protection order against you. You can't see.
So just for clarity, when you hear the beeps, she's not cursing. She's saying the name of her daughter, and we're trying to not publicize the name of her daughter because she's a minor. And there you see that at some point, again, a battle for custody by Chris Proudfoot for their child. She eventually regains or gets custody after going to court, after being served in court. She's in Albuquerque with the child, and apparently there must be some shared type of agreement, because we believe that the daughter has been in Tennessee with her father as well. It's complicated, right? Very complicated. The worlds of the adults around Sebastian Rogers. Still with me, Trevor Lee, who did that interview, and Gray Hughes, our true crime live streamers with us tonight. And joining us in Roswell, Georgia, psychologist John Paul Garrison, and in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, family law attorney Jennifer Brandt. John, let me start with you. In a situation and where a parent comes in and now you're a step parent, your new spouse has children, that issue of disciplining your spouse's children, your stepchildren, is always, it seems to me, a very precarious spot. And it seems in this case that Nina, the mother, really upset with Chris and how he is disciplining the children.
Almost universally, when I deal with families that are blended families, discipline is one of the top issues. So it's no surprise to hear that come up. I'm curious more specifically what the punishments and disciplines were that were upsetting to her, but it in no way surprises me that that was a point of contention.
Trevor Lee, did you get in? Were there more details about the nature of this discipline?
Yeah, so she kind of touched on that, talked about, of course, making the children go stand in the corner. She did speak about him telling her 3-year-old child that he needs to, I believe, man up is the way she worded it. There was spanking at a young age and things of that nature.
Okay, John, I got your info. Does that help at all?
Sure. There certainly sounds like that was a more intense, more militant style of discipline. And if you're not somebody who believes or ascribes to that type of discipline, like I don't, I know many people that don't, it's very upsetting. It would be very upsetting for me to have someone come and try to raise my kids that way. So I'm imagining that you become very protective of your kids if someone's trying to raise them in a way that you just fundamentally disagree with. And we have to remember the situation with Sebastian. He's a stepchild of Chris Proudfoot's as well. Jennifer Brandt, you're in the middle of this all the time. This is the profession that you've chosen, right? Let me ask you this, though.
I wonder why some days, Vinny. I wonder why.
Exactly. So Chris Proudfoot is in a custody battle. He's in one state. The child is in another state. And a child who was in his home is now missing. So how does all that sort of play off of one another? How is that going to impact? Like, he wants his daughter to live with him, but the stepchild who was in his house is vanished. Like, how does all that impact each other?
Well, it's obviously very, very damaging to his custody case that a child that was living in his home goes missing. So under suspicious circumstances, I mean, we don't know what happened. Like you said, something happened to him, but we don't know what. And for him to want to then try to have his own biological child come live with him, I think a court would probably be somewhat reluctant about that with all of this going on, and especially with all the publicity. So it certainly gives the mother, the biological mother, an advantage in this particular custody fight, given the circumstances.
Yeah. So, Gray, as we look at, again, the world of the adults in Sebastian's life, if Chris Proudfoot wanted his daughter to live with him, this is like the worst thing that could happen. One of the worst things that could happen, Gray.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's probably just thinking to himself, he's not going to be able to have custody of the daughter. And I wonder if there's a lot of times it seems like financial issues are a big part of other cases like this. But I guess in this case, you have to always couch it with law enforcement saying that they haven't been able to find anything nefarious on the part of the parents, and they have their phones and everything, and they've looked through it all. So you got to always remember that in the background, that it seems like in this case we have Katie and Chris bad, Seth good. So everybody, no matter what Seth has done in the past, everybody looks at it with the rose-colored glasses, and then everybody that looks at Katie and Chris look at everything that they do negatively. And so I think everybody has to kind of look at it.
Hey, goofball, knock, knock. Anybody there? Anybody? Anyone there in your brain, buddy? We made up our mind about 2 to 3 weeks, maybe even a month later, after Sebastian went missing, because of the weird ass behavior. And we, the public, we, the people, actually were pretty balanced until we started seeing signs, like Erica Kirk. She just appears to be the happiest widow that I've ever seen. It's weird. So the public noticing the weirdness, okay? I just think that he's not working with all the brain cells up there. I think his whatever that is on his head is too tight. Absolutely too tight. And hey, everybody coming in, don't worry, I'm going to be showing you guys the map. I'm going to be talking about this because this energy with Sebastian deserves to be talked about tonight. I don't know what is in transit that is going on with him personally, because Mercury is a personal planet. Mercury is combust right now. But the dark moon in Sagittarius, that's what we're talking about here. That's why I'm showing you this. Because the dark moon being in Sagittarius, we're going back. We're reflecting on court TV. And the things that we are learning, there has been an opposition with Nina. There has been 2 oppositions with Nina today. This could be one of them. But it was already in transit earlier, way before I did this live. So if I could talk to Nina, I would ask her what is going on. Because once this opposition came to her with communications with I think it's about this, and it's talking about what about the security cameras. Now they have a security camera. I don't know what's going on in that household. I don't know if this little girl is there at their house where she's at. But I can't wait to find out and look back on this day at this time and what we're talking about, what I'm showing and the map, and try to go back, and we'll see. And we'll uncover what is going on with Sebastian right now. What is happening? Hey, Lady Freedom, good to see you, girl. Yeah. Slime ball. Yes, thank you guys for being here. Hey, Bo, good to see you, honey. Good to see you guys. Make sure y'all hit that thumbs up, okay? We're gonna listen a little bit more of this, and then we're gonna get back. We're gonna get to it because I'm almost listening to all of it. I just can't stop.
You know, this could be one of those cases where it's just a really bad situation, and that Sebastian literally just walked away, left on his own, and then some.
And where did he go? With what shoes did he go in, Mister? Are you just goofy? We didn't see him on no cameras. Where's he at? Where'd he go to? He just left on his own. I mean, really, I just can't believe this dude.
Something happened. I mean,
Right.
that really could be the case.
You're a goofball.
I mean, and that's the weird thing. We've had many cases out there where parents look guilty. They didn't do all the things that everybody in the public wanted them to do. And it turns out at the end, like
that everybody wanted them to do? Who would have ever wanted anything like that to have happened to Sebastian? Who would have wanted that? Are you just stuck on stupid? No, that is definitely not something that anybody would want. It's just something was not right with Chris and Katie. Their interviews with YouTubers. Their interviews with YouTubers. They had other chances to go on big channels. Nationwide news, and they chose little video Duchess on YouTube to go and talk about Sebastian. Her interviews, their interviews were suspect. Their answers, their communications, the way that they communicated with people looking for Sebastian. That's why. That there's so much that we could discuss from the very beginning. It was just very suspect. You don't want to think, nobody wants to think that Chris or Katie could do anything or that they could hide Sebastian this good. But there's a clear alibi with Seth, clear as day. And we just don't have that. Katie was the last one to see him. Katie was the last one. And like this show began, something happened. Something happened with Sebastian. He didn't just disappear.
Theo Smith in Australia. You guys remember that? Everybody was
Yeah, the
bashing
Hands interview. Hey, Kim, the Hands interview. It was a wrap. I mean, that was the dumbest shit I've ever seen. We know what was happening when Sebastian went missing. There was a court battle. And Chris is very controlling. He's a lot like his mom, evidently. The fruit don't fall far. My kids say the same thing.
parents, and she was abducted from a tent at a campground, and everybody thought the parents had something to do with it. And it turns out that literally somebody abducted her from the tent, and they found the girl, back in a town south. And so, we have a lot of people that are constantly going after the Proudfoot.
What did the parents say?
Foots.
What did the parents say of this girl? You forgot to say that. You forgot to talk about them. And who cares? We're not even talking about them. We're talking about Sebastian. He's getting on my nerves.
He's in a much worse position now, which would give him zero incentive to do anything to harm Sebastian. Okay, everyone stay where you are. We have great minds with us tonight. When we come back, though, we're going to talk about Seth and Katie's separation, the parents of Sebastian Rogers. Don't go anywhere.
Once again, my son, something has happened to my son under her watch. And once again, she wasn't being an adult. She wasn't being a parent taking care of an autistic child.
And that's Seth Rogers on our show talking about his ex, Katie, and how he's unhappy with the way that he was parenting, unhappy with the way she was parenting their son. Now, their breakup was like, they're always messy, right? So there were allegations by Katie against Seth. And what we have, we tracked down from the courthouse out in San Diego some of the information from that court filing for the dissolution of marriage between Katie and Seth Rogers. This is from February 2016. And this is the response of Seth Rogers to the allegations of domestic abuse. So she's accusing him. Katie's request for a restraining order is based upon the following. I was, quote, highly aggressive in my mannerism, and I cursed and yelled at her, not a basis for a restraining order under the facts. I was very angry, yelling, and our son said, Daddy hit me, not a basis for a restraining order under the facts. I've yelled at her and our son and slammed a door, breaking it, not a basis for a restraining order under the facts. Generic allegations of temper issues, not a basis for a restraining order under the facts. Generic allegation of drug use, not a basis for a restraining order under the facts. So we just got these right before we got on the air, so we're still going through them. But what you can take away from this and this breakup is that she was accusing him of things and trying to get a restraining order against Seth Rogers for things that were happening in the home. Let's bring back in our guests, Trevor Lee, Gray Hughes, John Paul Garrison, and Jennifer Brandt. Jennifer, again, let's go to you. Are there times, and give us a little bit of a thumbnail sketch of allegations for restraining orders? Are they always
Oh, thank you, Lady Freedom. Thank you for all the work that you do too.
legit?
Gray pubes.
It
Oh my God.
and I'm asking this because these are serious allegations. And are they something that should be taken with a grain of salt? Or are they something that, hey, lawyers and their clients don't put this stuff in front of a judge if it is false?
Well, Vinny, you hope for the latter, but unfortunately, sometimes the former is true. It just depends on the case. I mean, it is serious. When you make these allegations, a protection order or a restraining order is meant to protect a person from an abuser, and it is serious. And if anyone is experiencing any kind of domestic violence, we advise them regularly, call the police, get a restraining order, take action. Don't.
I've been around Seth for a long time. And I can tell you one thing, just based on experience, okay, this is just my own experience. I mean, I haven't cheated on him. We ain't together. I haven't cheated on him, and I'm trying to raise a family with him. But I have yet to see Seth lose his cool but one time. And it wasn't directed toward anyone. It was just directed toward not having Sebastian and being on this roller coaster. But I've never seen him lose his shit. I've never heard him lose his shit but that one time. And like I said, it was just him venting to the ether, to the wind. And I had someone on the phone with us, and he had just had enough. And he vented loudly, sadly. It was sad. It was heartbreaking. But I have never heard him talk like Chris Proudfoot. The disrespect that Chris had with Heather, that PI, the way that he was talking to her was so disrespectful. And I could never imagine Seth talking to a woman like that. Yeah. Yes, Seth vented to the whole holler. I had a neighbor way up the street, and she's like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's Seth." And they have met Seth. And she's like, oh, I get it. I get it. We can't imagine the pain. We can't. We can try, to think back at different situations that we have had. We can try, but that's all we can do is try to imagine what it would be like. And if the tables were turned and Chris lost, or let's put it, let's do the table turn. If little Faith went missing from Nina's house, poof, gone. Don't know where she went. It's a mystery. One day she might walk through that door and it's just going to be studied forever. Things would be a lot different with Chris and Katie, with his mother, with his sister, with his entire family. But it wasn't her. It was Sebastian, the stepkid. They can't say that they loved him like a grandson, that they loved him like a nephew, like a son, because they don't act like it. We know what that looks like. We're not stupid. We're not stupid, guys. We know what we know, and something is not right. There is something not right. They know, somebody knows where Sebastian's at. And we can't deny the oddities, all the weirdness. Can't deny that. We just can't. And the past court with Nina, where did that go? What happened with that? There has been an opposition with her. I do wonder what's going on with Faith right now. And I think that there could be something that the TBI is being shaken up about today. All they got to do is call me. Let me know. Let me know, TBI, what's going on. But there is something that's happening tonight. Something. Hey, Jenny. So I want now to let's just forget that. We basically watched all of that. I didn't mean to, but I just couldn't stop because it was really good, and I'm glad that we got to regroup with that. And now I want to show you the map. I want to show you the map because actually I need to show you I need to show you something else. I need to show you guys. Let me go ahead and share my entire screen with you because I want to show you guys something else. Because with the astrology and an event, I'm pretty sure I know what the hell I'm talking about here too. Pretty sure. I'm pretty sure that I know that when Sebastian left the roadhouse, Sebastian and Katie left the roadhouse. 6:24:47, they're pulling out. And we are rising with the values with Seth. And relationship with Seth isn't quite clear. Okay? It's not quite clear. And what I want to show you is this. What I want to show you is that there is a relationship with the dark moon. This relationship with the dark moon was Chris and Katie. That's who the relationship is with Chris and Katie. And we are going back into the past, and it has to do with health. It has to do with things of the past with Sebastian. Could be about the teacher conference. But we are February 25th, Sunday. We're leaving the Texas Roadhouse. And I can already tell that with the relationship, the health factor with Sebastian and medicines, things of the past with past offenders. There's a world health, there's a purity of health, and it's about to shake Sebastian up. That's what it's doing here. It's about to shake him up. So we go to 724. Actually, let's back it up because I'm going to show you exactly what took place, what I think took place. This is where we can't see Sebastian walking the trash. They got home at 6:24. I mean, they left at 6:24. They got home about 6:34, about 6:45, 6:50, something like that, maybe 6:57. He walks the trash down. Well, here is the video, and it's Mercury in Pisces, so we can't see him. It's blurry. We have to dissolve the Mercury in Pisces to really see him clearly. It's got to be clear, crystal clear, in order to truly see that that is Sebastian. And evidently, nobody that we know of has seen Sebastian skip to Malou with the trash. We just haven't seen that. The only person that says that they saw it clear is Katie. She's the only one. She's the only one. And then we already had an activation when he left. We had an activation with that midheaven, but we're not going to get into that. We're not going to get into that. That's where he learned and realized and learned about that 456 when it touched him. It graced him, and it just basically was he was learning. It shocked him that the bowling alley there was a they had league night. So that surprised him and it shocked him, gave him a little wake up call. So that really wasn't anything. Early on that morning when he woke up, Chiron was at the same degree as his Chiron that Utah shares. Utah and Sebastian have a 1701 in their chart, and Chiron was activating that with a headache, with a head wound. Could be about the military. Could be something about that. I don't know. The TPI's values were already in transit. They were already in transit, guys. That's where the physician is coming to, as a matter of fact. It's coming to that 618 that the TBI has. We go to the next hour, 7:57. By 8 o'clock, when Sebastian went missing, he was being shaken up. Why do I say that? Because Hygeia is at an 1846 in Pisces. 1846 in Pisces. What is the 1846 in Pisces? Well, for Sebastian, that 1846 is right here. This is groups at home or medicines, hospitals, shakes him up, grabs him, or he's at a hospital. Could have to do with water, but there was no flooding. There was no flooding. This would be lake, ocean. There's no flooding where he's at. It could be about his mom and her mother because this is the maternal house. Her mom, past offender, shakes him up. Be her. So this 1846 and the Hygeia of 1846 is what I'm going to be showing you guys on the map. And it's because this Mercury squares Uranus is square Saturn, and it's separating. That means that it had already been doing it. There was already a really good square to him. And that's exactly what I'm going to show you tonight. Because this 2212 and this 1318, they are separating. They're separating. And this right here is Sebastian, and this is the TBI. But guess who else has it? Other people in the neighborhood have the 1318. They do. They have the 1318. Sure do. In the neighborhood with his neighbors. Let me pull up Chris Carr. Let's make sure that Chris Carr don't have it. Let's make sure that he doesn't. And that's if he was born on October 29th, 1967. But let's just make sure that he isn't connecting with the TBI, because I don't know. He could be. He may not be. But the 1318, I don't see it. I see a 1344. But we're going to look for that. We're going to look for it. I do think that he has this connection with the FBI. I do think that that is in transit tonight with the FBI, and it will be for all week. That's where Eris is. Eris is gracing him with that Chiron with the FBI. So let's keep looking. Let's look at Michael Laird. Because isn't he the one that allegedly had the, and this is if he was born June 6, 1969. Let's just see. Nope. He does connect to the TBI, though. He definitely does with this 1311, no matter what time he's born. He definitely connects to the 1311 with the TBI. No doubt about that. Let's look at Michael Proudfoot. Because I'm pretty sure somebody else has that degree. And I'll just have to remind myself of who has it. He may have the 1311 too. He does. So Michael Proudfoot also has the 1311 that connects to the TBI. So what happened with Carr is what's happening with this is that the TBI and publicity and the child is what his connection is with the FBI, with the TBI. And for Michael Proudfoot, it's basically the things that are hidden with the investigation and either drugs or some type of religion, water, right there for Michael Proudfoot. Michael Proudfoot is highly connected to Oklahoma and California. And I'm not going to stop looking, but look, let's look at the map, because I want to show you why. Oh, hold on. As I'm talking about this, I'm going to show the map. Let me go ahead and do the transits. So I can see, okay, now we're in the 11th house of groups. That's us. There's the opposition to Nina that is now separating. The 2420 was just in transit. That is Oklahoma, and that's what I was just talking about. The 1552, these 15s, this 1519. Well, yesterday, there was a weight of home and family over Melissa, and that 1518 that she has yesterday was connecting to the FBI. You can see that the physician Apollo is coming down into that 618 when Sebastian went missing. That connects to the TBI. So we got the 1552, we got the 1553. We are learning there's a lot of energy about communications and children, and that's exactly where we want to go with Melissa. Melissa, those 1550s. I think her and her dad have it too. Yep, his lunar nodes are 1554, so we've just come over him. And then Melissa. When I see these 1550s, I'm always thinking about them. I don't know why. I guess because his lunar nodes are in the 1550s and she has those connections with the 15s in her chart right here. So let's go. She's got the 1525. So all of that warring would have already happened with her that day with Sebastian. Yeah. So here we go. Let me take out that FBI connection with Melissa. Let me take that out with Melissa. The 1518 that they have in their chart is Neptune. Let me turn them on because it's going to be Neptune in Cancer. Cancer conjunct Venus. There it is, right there. This one. That's the connection that she has with the FBI. Let me take this one and bring it up because that's the connection with the FBI with that. And then this outer will. I don't need to see the TBI just yet. Actually, we'll take out the 13 degree that the TBI has. Let's take that out. It's a 1311. The 1318 is in transit right now, but let's look at the 1311 in Cancer. It's going to be right there too with the TBI. The third house outer wheel. I think that's it right here. Yes. Okay. So this is what is in transit for Sebastian right now. The TBI's third house, actually their second house, outer wheel. This is the 8th house. This is where we meet up with the TBI. Michael Laird. Chris Carr and Michael Proudfoot. Chris Carr and Michael Proudfoot. This is where they're meeting the TBI. It's right here on this 1311, but it's going to go this way and that way. It's just this whole entire line. And for Sebastian, the Mercury that is squaring up with that Uranus in Pisces. So the Uranus in Pisces, right? Remember the Uranus in Pisces with Sebastian when he went missing on February 25th by 8 p.m. He was being shaken up. By 8 p.m., he is shaken up. Because Uranus and Hygeia is about health, groups, networking. He is being shaken up. And then that 1846 is going to come here into the 5th house with the way that he creates. What he's doing. Let me go to the map. So I'm going to turn on the addresses. Let's go deep into this map. Now let's just go ahead and turn on the addresses. With anything that I might have right now. So we're going to go up this way because this is where he was being shaken up. This angle also goes to San Diego. You know what? This is a shakeup line with media. Shake up with media, home, family, things of the past, hospitals, prisons, water. Let's just do that. Let's just do it right. Got to give this something here instead of it goes to San Diego. All right, so we're going to keep on going. There's hiding under a car. I've got the layered residence, the ring camera for trash. And then we're going right here over 1021. We're going over 1021. I don't know who that is, but I do know that the 1023 person works at Vanderbilt. Education, vocational rehabilitation, advocacy for individuals with disabilities. I do know that about the 1023, but the 1021 don't know who that is. But the FBI is going over these houses. So it would be the 10, what is that? That's the 1019 going in front of 1017, going in front of 1015. And this is where the garage is. There's the garage. Even if I were to have this in the middle where he goes missing, it's still going to go this way. Still going to go this way. So going in the driveway of 1012, in front of 1016, 1015, 1017, 1019. Why is it that there is nothing that was seen on camera, like clearly showing Sebastian? That's the biggest mystery with this Mercury dark moon. It's the biggest mystery with the media. So the FBI, this Poseidon that they have that's in Virgo, is fated with Hades. I say fated, but there's a quincunx here. There is going to be a lot of intensity with this angle. So the FBI with groups is where they and not just with groups, it's with the video. Any type of video surveillance. This is where a lot of weight is, and they are being opposed here with things that they learn. Some things that they learn are going to be opposed by this Hades. It could be bringing a little bit of light to that weight that they are having, because there is a shakeup here. Major shakeup. And we could keep going. I got Catherine Brinkley. I got the Garrett residence. I got the Raglan property, and I got White House and an old address for Kathy. White House Heritage Elementary, funeral home, Paul Horn old address, Bobby Ann Brawley. Somebody was following Seth this way. Let's see. We got Sean Taylor. We got a Sean Taylor. Let me see if I have a Sean Taylor on here. Who is Sean Taylor, you ask? Well, let me tell you who it is. Millersville. Millersville cop. Millersville cop. Remember the Millersville cop, guys? You know, Sean Taylor. Let me just show you guys, because let me go ahead and get this 619 to that 618, because that's coming. Let's just go ahead and get him to be 11 a.m. in the 8th house, because that's where he really needs to be. 11 a.m. Let's go ahead and make Sean Taylor 11 a.m. Let me show you who Sean Taylor is. But I didn't think he lived here or here. I thought he lived closer to Millersville. Maybe not. So Sean Taylor and Millersville police. Let me go to the videos. Let me take this off. Share the screen with you here. Millersville. Ah, okay.
The $4.99 Angus Big Cheese Thick Burger from Hardee's is 100%.
Wake of Wednesday's TBI raids of Millersville Police Department, we're holding the city's attorney accountable for alleged crimes that the agents are investigating.
The city attorney granted his first interview to our chief investigative reporter, Jeremy Finley, who has plenty of questions about the search warrants and what they show the TBI is also after.
I spoke with the district attorney yesterday, and he made it clear that his intention is to have your administration investigated.
At the end of the day, there still has to be proof of official misconduct.
Millersville's attorney knows the city he represents is under fire following 2 TBI raids yesterday. One of the search warrants served during the raids requests all records and body camera video for a child predator operation in association with a nonprofit group. The warrant seeks evidence of crimes of aggravated perjury, which is lying under oath, and official oppression, where a public official abuses his or her power against another. But I think what they're suggesting is that the investigation itself into this operation about child sex offenses was handled improperly.
I think that the investigation could have been handled
I don't know,
better, as
Shauna.
any investigation can. But what happened was far from botched, as some people say it is.
The warrant requests the phone of Sean Taylor, the city's assistant police chief, who has spoken on podcasts about conspiracy theories. Should he have a place as a police officer in the Millersville Police Department if he does believe in these conspiracy theories?
We're talking about an individual who has probably been psychologically assessed more than a dozen times, and every time comes out to be to pass with flying colors and no issues. So some people may disagree with his political views, but that doesn't mean that he's a danger to society or anything else.
Should he resign at this point?
I've not seen anything worthy of resigning.
The TBI has come in and made a big show of not only investigating your headquarters, but Sean Taylor's house. This obviously looks really bad.
It does. I think that was their intention. It's intimidation.
Jeremy Finley, WSMV4 investigates.
Now, we also had more questions for the city attorney about allegations of official misconduct in the search warrant. You can find his responses right now on the WSMV4 News app.
So that's Sean Taylor. That would be Sean Taylor, guys. And so let me take you back to the map. And I don't know who the person is in New York or Indiana who you're talking about, Sean. I'm lost. Lost. Don't know. So here, that's this. Okay, so that's the FBI and groups that shake Sebastian up from the past with the courts. This is the FBI. And whatever that they are going to learn is coming here. It's coming to oppose this energy here with the FBI. They're going to learn some things. The commissioner, right? That commissioner in Millersville Y'all know that too, right? The commissioner and the commissioner in Millersville, which is not far from where Sebastian lives. Not far at all. And this is him right here. Millersville City Commissioner David Gregory is behind bars in Sumner County after being accused of continuous SA of a child in aggravated battery. Right here. That commissioner. Okay. So we know that that's there. There's East Robertson Road. And I've got East Robertson Road for a reason. Seth would know why probably. There's the Walmart lead. So if we're thinking back about a lead, a past lead, this is a 1701. That's found in Sebastian's natal chart, but this is North Main in Kentucky at the Beaver Dam, Kentucky Walmart. There's a past lead here. Don't know whatever happened to that. Somebody said that they saw someone that looked just like Sebastian. I don't know whatever happened to this lead. But there's a square here with the lead. There is a square here with a past lead. And I'm looking for it, and I just found it. That was on the North Main Street in Walmart, Beaver Dam, Kentucky. Past lead. Here is LRS Construction. Rogers Construction, LRS Construction Site Headquarters. That would be going to, if I remember correctly, that would definitely be going to Michael Proudfoot, the LRS. There's Villa Park, Illinois. We know that a guy from Villa Park, Illinois did some time for some type of online predator stuff in Hendersonville, Tennessee. And then let's go back down. Let's go back down. Let's look at some of these addresses that I've got on the map. This is from not his home, but not from Texas Roadhouse, but this is going this way toward Happy Hollow. But we want to go far. We want to find a church, or we want to find some type of law. Some type of law, something that we could be learning here. There's the commissioner. There's the commissioner. And if I do the rest of it, okay, the rest of the Sag energy, we're definitely getting close to where the commissioner lived. Because here is the dark moon return. The dark moon is coming here. Okay, we are here right now. But by August, we are going to be up here. Going to be right up here. This is a SO Benton. He's right there. That's an offender in Millersville. There's a lot of things in Millersville, actually. There's the police raid by the TBI, Charlie Brawley, John D. Brawley, a.k.a. Kalen Brawley. Got Tendon Road. There was where Terry Lynn used to live. We can just keep on going. There's Pete Hexteth's home. So the, Mr. Army guy, well, that's exactly where the dark moon is going. Right over his home. He's in the military, ain't he? And we got Carrie Foster. We got Chapmansboro. We got an SO breaks old address. We're going north of Memphis. Okay, so we're going north of Memphis. We're going over the Kentucky. We went over the Kentucky Lake. Now we're going over Mississippi. Still Missouri. There's Black Rock, Arkansas. This is where Return of the Land is situated, where there's some kind of weird stuff going on, but there's Black Rock, Arkansas, Fayetteville. And then we've got Broken Arrow. This is Uncle Taco. So this is going to be the Dark Moon. So we want to look right through here. Right through here. This is going to be Bigsby. I really want to get closer to the FBI because this is court worthy. This is going to be the court with the FBI. So we want to look really closer to them. Let me turn on the TBI too. Yeah. So the TBI stand down here. And again, Oklahoma just has such a big, this 2420 is and the only other person that has it is Israel. The only one that I know of that's got that 2420 besides Oklahoma is Israel. Do y'all remember the guy Marcus Salazar on Sebastian's case? Marcus Salazar. Do y'all remember him early on in the case? Yes or no? Do y'all remember him? Y'all remember? Marcus Salazar. There was some kind of weird shit going on with Sebastian's case early on Facebook, and Marcus was seemed like the things were going on with the FBI and him. Let me see if I can remember. And Sebastian. Marcus Salazar. Here we go. Let me show you this. This is on TikTok. Let me make sure y'all can see it. Okay.
So far, a man by the name of Marcus Salazar says he picked Sebastian up in Tennessee. Sebastian told him he was kidnapped and escaped. The man did not feel comfortable bringing him back to his parents because Sebastian said his home is not safe. Instead, this man brought Sebastian to his family in Oklahoma. I personally believe this is just a scam. In the messages, he asked for money, and I think they're hoping someone's gullible enough to send it to them. It has been turned over to law enforcement, and I hope they find the person responsible for this. Recently, someone reached out for information on the Sebastian Rogers disappearance, and this is what they were sent back. Notice it says criminal investigation, but when reporter Nick Barris asked for clarification, he was told that was an unfortunate mistake. Seth Rogers, Sebastian's bio dad, has hired 2 private investigators to help search for Sebastian. This was confirmed by the Sumner County Sheriff's Office. The sheriff said he briefly met with them on Tuesday afternoon. We do not have any updates, and there are no leads that we know of, as law enforcement is keeping everything close to the vest. Sebastian Rogers has been missing for 52 days now. If you have any information on his whereabouts, please contact the Sumner County Sheriff's Office or 1-800-TBI-FIND.
Ardmore. Ardmore. It's Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. This guy, again, with the FBI, they learned something. Travel and communications. This is Oklahoma. Right there, Marcus Salazar. So for those of you who have never heard of it, of that lead early on, I'm taking us back. Lead by Man Online. There it is. And that was Marcus. And then I ended up finding his address, which was more up here. But he said that he had taken him to Ardmore. And this Australia that we are also watching with Sebastian, with an intense experience, this map is leaving from his home. And this is going into Wichita Falls. But yeah, there's Ardmore. This is where his sun is in Sagittarius. So that 15-degree Sagittarius is right here. This is where he shines. And this is where there is an intense experience. But there is a justice with Sebastian here. A justice. So the dark moon has went here. It's went here. And right now it's right here at the cotton patch. And won't be long. It's going to be right here. Right by Marcus Salazar. Because this is where the dark moon is coming. Is right here. Right here. The Pluto is way up here. But this right here is Marcus. So now you guys know who Marcus Salazar is. And if anybody is confused, just say that you're confused. Because early on, this guy reached out to people and said that he knows exactly what happened to Sebastian, that he was living in bad conditions. He picked him up and he took him to Ardmore. And that is exactly why the TBI is also there, with that energy of the 1311 that Mike Proudfoot has and Michael Laird. Which tells me that Michael Proudfoot and Michael Laird, one of them may know more. They may know more. May know a lot more. And we're just now getting into the map. We're just now getting into the map. Thank you, little Miss Sharon. You're so sweet. Thank you so much, honey. Welcome to the Watchers, Aaron, Blair. Welcome to Watch. Thank you, darling. You're so sweet, Sharon. Thank you so much, honey. So yeah, so we're just gonna keep looking at the map. The dark moon is reflecting something of the past with a lead. We're looking at Walmart in Kentucky. Beaver Dam. Anybody? Is there any flyers at that Walmart for Sebastian? Is there anything going on with that lead? Can we remember anything about the Walmart lead in Beaver Dam, Kentucky? Do y'all remember that lead? It's a long time ago. Let's see if I can find it. Let me see. I don't see anything yet. I don't see anything on here. There was someone that said that she thought that she saw someone that looked just like Sebastian. I want to say he was with a group of people. He was with other people. But I don't see it. Okay. All the leads are on here from day one, guys. From day one, I have been building this map, working the map. I'll bet a lot by myself or with Seth. But every lead that I have ever heard about is on this map since day one. That's the only reason why I can remember it, is because everything is put on here. So, again, we're coming here with the FBI, with Marcus. We got to revisit. Let's keep on going. Let's see what's going on here. Now we've got Penny's old address, friend of John's, PIC Center. We've got a lot. I've got a lot of addresses here in Albuquerque, and a lot of them are old addresses of Penny. Y'all know who Penny is, right? Remember who Penny is? The aunt. I think it's the aunt. It could be the cousin of Katie Proudfoot. That's New Mexico, right by Nina. It's not too far from Nina. That, again, is where the dark moon is going to. We are going to be reflecting on these dark travels. Yeah, I think it's her aunt. And then we're coming all the way here to where kids live safe in Santa Barbara, California. Kids live safe in California. That's where we're going with the dark moon return. We could keep on going this way, you know, past where the FBI and that Walmart lead is. We could keep on going, but we already saw that there's really not a whole lot that's up here. And that is mainly what I'm seeing, except for the 456 that is definitely coming in September with Sebastian. And that is going to be the midheaven and the IC with Sebastian. But for now, let's just keep it simple with the dark moon and that energy that I was just talking to you about. That is what is in transit. That is what is with the dark moon tonight with Sebastian. And we are going back into the past with the courts, long travels, things that we learn. Because Sagittarius really wants to teach us, wants us to go even higher, wants us to go further, go deeper. And that's what we just did tonight. We just did that tonight. So Sebastian, there is a media on him right now. And then there's going to be information that is coming back and forth. There's going to be a lead. So if you guys see any leads tonight, anybody that is saying anything about Sebastian, that they may have seen him, send it to me. Okay? Send it to me. Send it to the FBI. But just let me know, because I'm really interested in knowing what is happening with Sebastian tonight. And I want to show you the transits one more time. And I want to show you when this will move off of Sebastian, going toward the next event will be going toward his dark moon return even. And it's not an easy, this is not an easy transit. This is not an easy transit. He's done it before, but he's going to be doing it again. He's going to be doing it again. Let me pull up Penny just in case. I don't know if I've got Marcus or not. Let me see if I ever found Marcus. Marcus Salazar. I found his address, it looks like, but let's see. No, I didn't pull him. Okay. Let me look at Penny real quick while I got her on my mind. That could be the 1318 that's with the TBI 3. Yeah, she would be, and that's if she's born on March 15th, 1972. I do have her with the divine justice. She definitely connects to Seth through the home and the family. Okay. That's really all I want to see right now. Okay. Let's look at transits right now. So this 2212, right? That 2212 is going to come into a 2214. So it's going to go to 2213 and then it's going to come into a 2214 with Sebastian. So let's go back. Okay, so it's going to move quicker than I thought. So it's going to move off of his Mercury. It's about to move off his Mercury. Okay, it's about to move off. It's going to settle down for a second. It's going to fester up a little bit. And then we've got, boom, now in the 8th house of the things that are hidden, we are going to see the information that is coming in with Sebastian. And again, the 1318, it definitely goes to the TBI. That TBI, the 1425 goes to, well, it goes to things of the past with Katie and with a breakup. With a breakup. And that breakup could be with the 2556, which is going to the FBI and possibly Chris Carr, the neighbor. The neighbor. Definitely see where there's been a lot of energy that is connecting to Michael Proudfoot. The 1318 is definitely going to come down to the 1311 where we saw the TBI and their connection, Michael Proudfoot and Michael Laird's connection with the TBI. Mercury's already left the 2420. Mercury has been combust. Mercury is now in retrograde, so it's moving. The sun and Mercury are moving closer and closer together. It's combust right now, and then what's going to happen is it's going to work itself into a cazimi. This is going to be interesting to see. Jupiter in Leo is at a 130, and this Jupiter in Leo that's at a 130 is going to come to the 134, and it's going to activate the connection or the relationship that the TBI has with Chris Carr. That's what's happening. Michael Proudfoot is learning some things that he's faded with when it comes to health. This is also going to Mexico. The 1425 goes to Mexico. They're having a lot. There's been a lot of things going down with Mexico today. So don't know what that's all about. The second house of values with communications with at least 2 people. That's where Kathy Bowersox is magnetized with the communications right now. Hey, Kathy, if you're listening in, be sure and hit that thumbs up. And, that's what I'm seeing. There is a lot of emotion with the 428 with Sebastian's moon. His moon is a 428. I mean, this is connected to Donald Trump with that moon that he's got with courts, with the court. Things of the past with his mama. But this 428 is the moon of Sebastian and Aries. And so we are reflecting with a lot of emotion, with a lot of attention on Sebastian today. There's so much attention on Sebastian. And if we aren't giving it to him, who's giving it to him? There's a lot of attention somehow, some way. I don't know. I'm not at his house. I don't know who all's there. I don't know what all's going on at his home. I tried that link. It sends me to a picture. To what picture? It should send you if you're talking about the link that Shauna is posting, it goes to Sebastian's with all the info on it. With all the info. You can send tips to the FBI. Thank you. I will for sure. I've seen him a couple of times, so I live nearby, but I thought no way he was on a scooter. But now I know there's an Ardmore, Oklahoma connection, which is less than an hour away. I will put a tip. So that's what I'm talking about, Lux, is that there is some type in off of Sandy Road. Yes, any tips that you have, send them in because this is the time period. This is the time period to go back and to look at different leads that have come in and send them in. There is limits and obstacles with Katie. So there's limits and obstacles with Katie from the past. And so this lead would also make me really curious to know what this is really all about. But this is the energy that I'm seeing. Media, lead. Media and lead. Communications, Michael Laird. We don't know if that, right? We don't know if it's, we just don't know about it. We don't know. But this energy with Sebastian tonight is prevalent. We can look at this line with the TBI because this is the line with the TBI. There's a pond. Beach Market. We know what happened to Beach Market. We know about the past leads with Beach Market, right? We know that there was people that saw who they think was Kathy Bowersox. At Beach Market early that morning at Warsham's. And of course, there's no way to tell with footage. There's the Crutcher Lake Dam. Danny's past address. Danny Guy who builds homes. Freedom Church. We know that the Freedom Church that's where Kathy, I believe, went, is at that Freedom Church. This would be two people from the church. Kathy and her husband, or Kathy and somebody else, or two people from the church. Gave her some little advice. There's an SO, Kathy's past tenant. And I just can't show you a bunch of these addresses to not to dox people. There's the sheriff's office. Sheriff Eric Craddock. There he is with the FBI. Two people. Two sheriffs. Two. Communications. And then there is the attorney. Now we're talking. Here's the attorney for Kathy Bowersox. Remember earlier when Nina was talking about Patty, her friend Patty? Well, there's where Patty is, right there. And it's with the Sag. The attorney is the Sag. The ninth house is where the FBI is definitely learning about the communications. This is court worthy, DA worthy. Yeah, if y'all think that y'all have ever seen Sebastian, let me know. I think Lux, you said near Sandy Road is where you think that you might have seen him. Sandy Road in what city of Oklahoma? Let's see. Sandy Road, riding a scooter. Atoka. Let me bring up the natal. So this is where he shines with a quick movement. There's limits and obstacles here with with the movement, which would be with the Mars. So that would be with the scooter. Can represent older male business. Sag is also fire, radio waves, what people talk about. Chatter line is possible. Lines here go all the way to Hawaii, Costa Rica. Consider what did Sebastian found out here. There's a lesson. There's the Astrea in Sag, the natal sun in Sag. So the dark moon has already went over here. There's Ardmore, so it's right here. Ardmore is, you need to let them know that too. It's like maybe an hour and a half to get there. Atoka. So that's interesting that would come in on that line. Old address for the brakes. Patagonia, Arizona. Interesting. Interesting. Oh, thank you, Jeff. I love showing the map. I mean, I work my ass off with it, so I might as well show you guys what I'm thinking, Might as well show you guys what I'm thinking. Let me look back at this one. Oklahoma. Right there, that's a trip. Let's bring up all of the FBI. Homeland, that's Homeland Security. So it looks like Homeland Security is right there too, with the lead by the man online. Homeland South Node. Pluto in the first house. You know what? That would signify, it really wouldn't just be Homeland, but also, oh, what you call it? Immigration. Immigration and customs. Homeland is also immigration and customs. ICE. ICE, ICE, baby. I don't see anything else there. Jules is there. This is hitting her body. That would be hitting her body. Stephen Crabtree, that would be his fifth house, outer wheel. With kids. Things that he learns. With kids. Yeah, you can submit your tip online, tips.fbi.gov. What do you mean not even an hour? Oh yeah, not even an hour to where Atoka is. I gotcha. Yeah. The FBI flyer has the information. Yeah, anything outside of the state of Tennessee does need to go to the FBI. So if you think you've seen Sebastian, definitely call it in. Don't hesitate. Don't hesitate. I mean, because you could be the one. And, Lux, if you know your birth time, give it to me. If you know your birth time, honey, give it to me. I will pull you up right now and see any type of connection that you got going on right now. Anything. We can, all I know to do. Any type of, if you know your birth time, hell, your birthday. It's your birthday. City and state you were born. I can see what type of connections that you have with Sebastian. I sure can. Easily. And if you don't feel comfortable doing it on the live, send it to my email. Send it to my email, jennifertjennings@gmail.com. I'll look at it for you. 3/22/77. Hold on. Lux. Hold on. March 22nd. Oh. March 22nd, 1977. And you're in Oklahoma now. Glen Allen, Alaska. Is that 2:08? Is that AM or PM? AM or PM? I'm thinking it's PM. 2:06 PM. Okay. Do you care if I show your chart online here? I've got March 22nd, 1977, 2:06 PM, Glen Allen, Alaska. Do you mind if I share this? Do you mind if I look at it real quick? And do you know what day you saw him? Do you know around about what day you saw him, maybe? Hmm. Holy shit. Okay. Well, let me show it to you. So Sebastian goes missing, right? He leaves the Texas Roadhouse. And when he leaves the Texas Roadhouse, Hygeia is at an 1845 in the seventh house, relationships and partnerships, right? That's where we just got through looking. We're looking at this angle with Sebastian and his Mercury that's in transit right now with the dark moon. Okay, so the 1845. Okay, the 1845. Y'all with me? They leave the roadhouse, and you also have an 1845 in the eighth house right here. You also, so it hit you before it hit Sebastian. So the night that he goes missing, he leaves the Texas Roadhouse, and there is a justice with you with things that are hidden in the eighth house, with investigations, other people's money, things that are hidden. And the 1845 then comes into the 1846 with Hygeia and hits Sebastian. Okay. Mars is at a 216 in the seventh house of relationships and partnerships right now. Mars is at a 216 in your natal chart. Well, let me show you something. The North Node, when I began this live, the North Node was at a 216 with your Mars. So the North Node basically is right here with you. Okay. The North Node of fate, and what you don't know is right here. There's a fate, and there's the scooter. There's the relationship that you just don't see clearly. You're not sure if it's him, but it could be. You were like, I don't know, but it could be. And right now, Uranus is at a 400. Okay. So Uranus is shaking things up. It's shaking groups up with communications. And that 400 is activating your chart with groups. We are the groups. Okay. We're the groups, and you are receiving information. There is information that is being received here from you in your everyday with groups. And that 4 is also right here with things of the past with a kid. And you got the attention. All attention is on you. So this energy right now with the Vulcanus and Leo, there is so much attention from the past and a home with Sebastian. It's a 428 and is garnering a lot of attention, Lux. And that 428 is you, right? It's right now, all day long today. I'm talking about a lot of directed energy that's going with your values and groups, values, your values with the health of the law enforcement, your values. The 1553 is in your chart. The 1553, this is a magnetism with you. There is a lot of magnetism. And this 1553, with this magnetism and this breakup with the 558, let me show you that. 1553, you are magnetized here with the transits. With the transits, the 1553 that I was talking about with Michael Proudfoot. Well, look at that. There is an activation with a lot of energy with the values of home, your home, Oklahoma, lots of it. You are being magnetized with a lot of directed energy here. And like I said, when I first started this live, Mercury was at the 2420 with Oklahoma. That's the media. The 1553 is also right here. It's where you're learning about relationships. Well, hello, I'm the relationship. You're learning some things, and you're also teaching, because Selena is a teacher. She wants to teach. She wants to learn. And this is with the relationships and partnerships. And I am that right now with you. Interesting, isn't it? It's so interesting how we can connect and we can see what is happening with you right now. And we can also see what is happening with Sebastian too. Just by looking at the map. And there is a lead. There is a lead that's going to come in. Mars is at a 552. It's coming. You're going to break up. You're going to have these breakup with communications, and you're going to do it. Maybe maybe you talk yourself out of it. I don't know. But there's going to be a breakup with communications very soon when Mars gets to that 558 that you have in your chart. Something's going to break up. The communications are. There's going to be a communication breakup there. Yeah, you can send that tip into Seth too. We are Sebastian's Army at gmail.com. Okay, Lux. Do it to it. Do you know when you think you saw him? Like, how long ago was it? What time period was it? Was it like morning, afternoon? Was it evening? couple of days ago, I've seen him a few times, and I thought, God, that looks like Sebastian, but thought, no way, he's on a scooter. Then tonight you said Ardmore, and I thought I better speak up. Okay. Yeah. Makes sense. Okay, so there, yes. Okay, so around 2, and that was a couple of days ago? Okay. There is, I think that there is enough reason for you to do that because look, there was a wake-up call that you got that would have connected to Sebastian. So the 1845, you've already seen how these degrees, it doesn't have to be the same sign. They're going to express itself in your chart. And the 1845 and the 1846, I definitely saw that when it came into transit. And I took note that it had to do with Sebastian. Evidently, it's got to do with you too. So it would have hit it would have hit you first, and then it would have hit Sebastian. This would have been, oh shoot, today's Monday. Hold on. You said a couple of days ago. So was that the 4th? Would that have been the 4th, you think? The 4th of July? Or was it a day before the 4th of July? The 4th or the day before? Yeah, look, send it to Seth and send it to the FBI. Or send me an email and I'll walk you through everything. I'll walk you through it. Let me know if it was July 4th. I don't think, let me see. Yeah, praying for it. Wasn't the 4th, either the 2nd or the 3rd. Okay. Could have been the 2nd or the 3rd. Let me just look at this for a second. What about the 30th? What about the 30th? Sebastian was definitely in transit on the 30th with a lot of wisdom about things that are hidden. That is a 1614. Let me see with you. Wow. There's Michael Proudfoot right there, that 342. And again, it's 342. My God. Let me pull up Oklahoma. Oklahoma. Let me pull this again. So Oklahoma also has a 342. So Michael Proudfoot is not just connected to California, but he's also connected to Oklahoma. Also connected to Oklahoma. Yes. So this would have been, and so is, Oklahoma was in transit when he went missing. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. And they are definitely connect to the TBI. So definitely connect to the TBI. This 2420 though, man, this is it. The leads that would come in to Oklahoma would be a 1613. So had you send it in, if you saw him and he was like, oh, and then you sent in, you called the local police and you're like, hey, that's a 1613. Sebastian has a 1614 in his chart. So the 1613, that would have been, oh shit. And I'd have to look at your chart too. Try to figure it out when you would have seen him. July 2nd. That would have been the lead that would have come in. Kathy is tons and tons of transformation was coming over her on the 2nd. Lots of transformation with her. It could have been on this day. It's 1514. There was the weight. There was the weight of the 1514 with Sebastian. Dark Moon with the FBI. Huh. All right. I wrestled with it, but him driving a scooter talked me out of it. Why? Because he's on a scooter? Did he look like he was almost 18 years old? I can see, looking and being like, is that Sebastian? No, there's no way. There's just no way. But you just never know. You never know. And it's definitely worthy of investigation because you are, let's see. Dark Moon in the 5th house. The quartz. 216. Seth either has a 217 or a 216 in his chart too. 710. This 1111, I feel like I know that degree. Somebody else's chart. There's going to be a breakup with your values and the things that you learn or the things that you teach. And I'm hoping that by the time that Mars gets here, you're just going to go ahead and send it in because you never know. It could lead to something. It could definitely lead to Sebastian. Definitely lead to Sebastian. You just keep on looking. The lunar nodes will make it to these desires with that 3rd house with the law enforcement. I can see that. I mean, you are connected with a lot of energy with your values, with the health and the, I also see where you're connected to Utah. I see where you're connected to Utah and Israel. That's where your mark is. That 421 is Utah. Utah and Israel. Interesting. But you were born in Alaska. He does look about 18 years old. All right, Lux, get it in, honey. Do you want to come up on panel? You're more than welcome to come up on panel and tell us about your experience. You don't have to show your face. I mean, that is if you don't have to, but we gotta find out if this is, if this could, I think that it could be a really good lead. The dark moon came over his son way back when. That could have been the first time that you saw him. MK Ultra Kid. What do you mean forget the chart? I'm not looking at a chart. What do you mean, Shauna? Lux, you're more than welcome to come up here, honey. You don't have to show your face. I can definitely talk you into and getting the tip in. Oh, Orb, you're so sweet. Thank you, darling. Orb, thank you, honey. Lux, I'm not trying to do your chart, honey. I'm not. I'm not doing chart readings. I'm talking about Sebastian. I'm talking about the lead that you believe that you have that needs to be called into the TBI, to the FBI, to Seth. Like, we've got to get this lead in. If you think that you saw Sebastian on a scooter, that's what I'm trying to get you on the channel. I'm just trying to get you to let me help you get this lead in to the FBI. I mean, I can't make you do anything, but what I can do is try to coach you into getting this lead in. You know, Mars is coming to bring you a lot of action. What does your past sorrows have to do with putting a lead in with Sebastian? What does your past sorrows have to do with putting in anything with Sebastian, honey? And you can email me, that's fine. You can email me if you want me to help you that way. All you got to do is just go to FBI.gov. Send in the tips. Let me show you. Let me show you. So let me show you here. So all you got to do is go to FBI.gov tips. All you got to do is Google that. So Google that on your computer. Google that on your computer. Let me show you with my other screen. Here you go. Okay. So go to FBI.gov tips, Google of that, and then it says electronic tip form. Electronic tip form. And all you got to do is click on that. You click on I understand. This website cannot be used to report emergencies or immediate threats. You call 911 and you get I agree. And then you push submit a tip. It's very easy to do. It's very easy to do. You can do it on your phone. And this doesn't have anything at all to do with anything of your past. What you're trying to do is you're just trying to get the lead in. Yeah, I did drop it. I'll drop it again, Angela. Here you go. If you want to jump up here, you can, Lux. Locals is not the best here, y'all. Nobody's going to know. I thought you wanted my MK Ultra stuff. No, honey. No, I wasn't. I didn't even, no, absolutely not. Not for tonight. We'll have to do it the MK Ultra another night. Not tonight, though. I don't, Shauna, I'm showing her exactly how to do it. If she doesn't want to come up on panel, I'm showing her exactly how to do it. I just showed her exactly how to do it. It's very easy. It's very easy, honey. All you've got to do, like I said, is go to FBI.gov tips. Google that. Click on. Okay, you got it open. Working on it. Good deal. Yeah. Once you click on that and you submit a tip right here, you're going to click your agreement, agree, and then you're just going to submit the tip. It's very easy. And we appreciate you so much. Go ahead and get that done. And if you would, send me an email once you do it with your confirmation. You should get a confirmation once you submit it and just send that to me in the email. with jennifertjennings@gmail.com. I'm patient, honey. I'm being patient. It's okay, honey. I gotcha. Yeah, I've got you, babe. You're fine. We're patient. I'm patient. And I can show you exactly how to do it. Like I said, you just go to FBI tips, you submit the tip, and then once they give you that confirmation, just email me. Can y'all drop my email again? Once you get the confirmation, just jennifertjennings@gmail.com. Yeah, like Seth said, just relax. Just follow the instructions. You're good. You're good, honey. Yeah, I don't know why anybody would think that I'm looking up MK Ultra. Y'all, I ain't gonna be looking up no MK Ultra. I was wondering what she was talking about. I'm like, MK Ultra, what? Uh, the past? Oh, honey, we wouldn't be getting into that tonight. It's all about Sebastian. It's all about Sebastian. So you just submit that tip and email it. Email me. Just email me with the confirmation. Tell me what they say. And they should be getting back with you. Lux is Angela McCollum. That's what's on her. Yeah. I've actually got her as Angela already. I've already read her. I've already read Lux under Angela McCollum. We already, Jeff showed me that that's who it was. Let me show you. I put the tip under child kidnapping? Yes. If it doesn't give you anything like Amber Alert, then yeah. Yeah, go ahead and just put it under kidnapping. Let me, oh. Yeah, see, I've already got Angela up here. It's the same chart. Oh, I know. Yeah. I saw that, and then Jeff saw it too, and he was like, "Yeah, it's Angela," because he was making sure. Because we know you, Angela. We know you, honey. So you just, nobody is trying to press you or anything. We just want to make sure that it gets in. If you think that, because like I've said before so many times, we just don't know. If Sebastian could be in another state, he could be down the street from you and you just didn't even know it. But if you're handing out flyers, if you're talking about him, that is what we need to be doing, each and every one of us. And we just don't know. And even if the kid that you are seeing isn't Sebastian, we've got a bunch of leads that have come in that wasn't him, and that's okay. One of them one day could be him. And you never know, it could be you. You're definitely in transit tonight with a lot of attention. There's a teaching. There's a lot that's going on with you tonight. So it's definitely with the astrology. We can see it, right? We can definitely see it. It's asking like about the kidnapping. I just want to tell them I may have seen him so they can look into it. Yeah. So If you can jump on panel, you can show me your screen and I can try to walk you through it. If there's something that doesn't apply to you, just do an N/A, non-applicable. So if there's something that if there is a question that is preventing you from moving on to submitting that tip and you have no answer for it, it's non-applicable. No answer. N/A. Oh, I'm glad, honey. I'm glad. But it might be. It might be. They ask for little tips, big tips. Yes, thank you, Angela. Yeah, all leads are important. Exactly, Jeff. And like Seth said, I mean, just be patient with yourself, relax, get the tip in, and he wants to work that lead because we just don't know. And the maps, the map, this is the reason why I'm showing the map tonight and I'm talking about it because it's important. It's important enough to talk about it. And there should be a lead come in. And if nobody is doing the media, then I got to do it. Yeah, if you want to call it in, you can call it in anonymous, but having it in the black and white where you can get that confirmation would be wonderful. Wonderful. That way you could send it to my email. I just sent a pic to Jeff. Jeff, did you get a picture, honey? That's how it's asking me. I can only select the boxes. Okay. Did you get a picture, Jeff? Where'd you send him a picture at? On here? On Facebook? Where? I wish you would come up here. I wish you would come up here. Okay. Yeah, call it in then. I was hoping that you could just do the black and, where we could get confirmation, but if you want to follow what Shauna said, that's fine. We could do a three-way. We could do a three-way. I don't know if I've given you my number. If you do have my number, you can text me and we can do a three-way. Let you try again. Okay. Okay, honey. Yeah, come on up here. Come on up here, hun. I only have a cell phone to do this on. The cell phone is fine. Yeah. Oh, shoot. Let me remove that. Cell phone is fine. It's no problemo. Just put it on speaker and I'll walk you through it. Jump up here on the panel and I'll walk you through it. Oh, you got a cell phone. I know what you're saying now. I know what you're saying now. I know what you're saying. Yeah, I think what I'm going to do is have you come up here and I'm going to submit your tip online. I'm going to walk us through it and we'll submit it online. So just come up here and I'll walk you through it and I'll submit it for you. If you feel comfortable in doing that, just jump on up here. You can be on your cell phone. You ain't got to do nothing. There's the link again. And we will make it happen. We will make it happen. Come on up here, Angela. Hey, honey.
Hey, there we go. All right, you can hear me. Oh my gosh, we did it.
Hallelujah. Praise Jesus. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to share the screen and we're just going to do this together, okay?
Okay.
All right, so we're going to go here. I understand that repeatedly providing tips with no investigative value. Yes, we understand will result the information I'm providing on this form is correct to the best of my ability. So we've got crimes against children.
See, that's where I was kind of confused because I was like, gosh, I just want to submit a tip for the missing, you know? Because
let's see. Immigrations and customs, cybercrime, counterterrorism. I would say that crimes against children, where are you at, Seth? I would say that crimes against children is going to be it.
But then it was asking me stuff like, okay, what day did you see them abducted? And, you know, like questions like that, and giving me boxes to select rather than like a place to type or anything like that.
Okay, let's call it in. Because this is, I don't know which one it would be.
Did I lose y'all?
Would you like to
Did I lose
report?
y'all? Uh-oh.
Federal election. I mean, yeah, it's going to be, this website cannot be used to report emergencies. Continue. Let's do the kidnapping. Do you have any information about who committed the crime? No. When was the child taken?
Like those are things I have no idea.
I mean, this would be February.
I mean, I've watched the show a few times, but I haven't like kept up with it to that level, you know, like where I would know have those kinds of details.
Right.
I just seen the kid on the scooter and I did a double take and I've seen him a couple of times. And every time I seen him, I was like, God, that is eerie how much he looks like Sebastian. I'm like, but there's no way because he has autism. And that's what I remembered from the show, that he had autism. And I'm like, there's no way he could be driving one of those little scooters. But you know, I mean, when you guys brought up Oklahoma tonight and then the Ardmore thing, and I just seen him again a couple of days ago on that scooter going down the street where I live. And I was like, golly, you know what? Just I'd be better. I'd rather say something and it not be him than not say something and it be him.
I mean, there has been a ransom been requested. I mean, so
I mean,
not
you know,
for us, but it has been, but not for us. Okay.
There's been
Do
a
you have reason
ransom
to
that's
believe the child is in danger? No. I mean, I don't know. Unknown. Is there an immediate
Right.
threat to take the child out of the U.S.? Unknown.
He
Do you
looked
know the current
fine.
location of the missing child?
No, I
Did
don't
you
know the
say
exact
Sandy Road?
location. Sandy
Did you say
Road, down the road from where I live. Yeah.
Okay.
I've seen him on that motor scooter, this particular kid, whoever he is, if it's Sebastian or not. I've seen him on that motor scooter a couple of times. And it was like a few months ago, the first time I saw him. And I sloughed it off. And every time I'd seen him, I was like, golly, it really does look a lot like him. And I tried to get a closer look. And one day I was going to actually follow him. But then the thought hit me, there's no way he would be driving a scooter. He's got autism. And so I didn't follow him. I didn't want to scare the kid. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand.
But then tonight, it just when it came up with the Ardmore thing, it just really kind of made my heart sink because I was like, well, what if? You know, what if that's him right down the road? If it is him, he doesn't look like he is in any kind of bad way or nothing, you know, if it is him.
Saw a young man on a scooter
It's a blue and
riding
white
on
scooter.
a blue and white scooter on
Yeah, it's a blue and white scooter on Sandy Road. It would be heading west on Sandy Road every time I've seen him. So it's very possible that he might live in the neighborhood.
Yeah. Saw a young man on a blue and white scooter on Sandy Road heading west in Atoka, Oklahoma.
Correct.
Okay.
That would be correct.
Are you reporting on behalf of yourself or someone else? Someone else. Well, I mean, it is my computer, so I'm going to say someone else. The FBI requests this information to assist in further investigating. You don't have to provide your name. However, failure to provide the requested information may impede, preclude law enforcement. Any information you provide about yourself or others may be used for authorized purposes. What is this? Is this for Sebastian? Add victim?
Yeah, I was confused by all that. Thank you for doing it.
Yeah, you're welcome. I've always called tips in. I've never done it online.
I've never even done it before, you know. A long time ago, I tried to submit some stuff, some things that were happening to me, but I was never able to get those submitted.
Let's see. I wonder if this is about you or him. Victim information. Victim. So this would be Sebastian.
Yeah, that would
Oh.
be.
Oh. Oh shit, what was the year? I should know this.
Sorry.
I just went blank. Where are you at, Sebastian? Oh my God.
I know I
You
went
at-
blank too when y'all were asking me questions. I'm like, oh, I don't know. I just seen him on a scooter.
I know. It's like, it's so much pressure. It's like, oh my God.
Yeah, exactly.
2008. Jesus. Went blank. 2008. Okay. What is your email?
322 ARC. Yeah, it's 322 Archangel. Yeah, Angel, ANGEL 322 at gmail.com. So it's basically my name and my birthday.
So is it ARC Angel 322?
Yep. Yeah. My
Or do we
initials
start with
and
322?
it starts with 322 and it ends with 322. And it's got
Okay.
ARC, my first, middle, and last name, and then Angel. So
322
Archangel.
again.
Yes, ma'am.
And then what? At
gmail.com.
okay. And I'm just going to leave it with your email.
Okay.
With his personal information.
Yeah, and if they want to contact
Because I mean,
me,
it's really not, it's victim information. You're not the victim.
I'm
You're not a victim, you're
victim.
reporting. So
I'm just reporting exactly, you know, something that somebody could go and just follow up on. I mean, now that you've said, I mean, I'm next, if I see him ride down the street, I will follow the kid down next time, and I'll just be like, hey, what's your name? And you got an ID on you?
Yeah. Yes.
You know, and I'll
been so
tell him,
many
I'll just be like,
times
dude, there's someone that looks like you that's missing, and I want to know who you are.
complainant information. Ugh, there's no complainant.
Yeah, they don't make it easy to just make it
No, they're
fit.
not really.
There'd probably be a whole lot more of them if it was something that people could just quickly do.
My God. Yeah, this is ridiculous. Okay, so
All right, well, I'm glad it's not me. I was like, I'm an idiot.
no,
I
it's
can't figure
definitely
this
not
out.
you. Oh, I see what I did. Okay. I see. Let's unselect all of that. Reported to law. Has this been reported to any other law enforcement agency? No.
And I would not recommend the local here at all. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay, it's submitted. Hallelujah.
Okay.
Praise Jesus.
All right, good. Now I'm like, now my conscience can rest. If it's not him, fine. But at least I said something.
Well, I mean, they've got my IPP address. They got your email address, and
Yeah.
Seth has a contact with the FBI now.
And I'd be more than happy to talk to him if they wanted to come by and talk or whatever.
Yeah.
I have no problem with that. So.
Yeah.
Alrighty, welcome back.
So we've got your email with them.
Okay.
We've got the information about Sebastian Rogers.
Did you put down that
So
I'd seen him on a scooter, on a blue and white scooter?
yes, yes, I
Okay.
did. I put that on there too. You
All
saw
right,
him on a
perfect.
scooter, and the victim information we put his information there, but your email address.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Wonderful, good deal. Thank you, thank you,
Right.
thank you, and thank
Yes,
you.
hopefully it'll turn into something. I that would be awesome.
Yeah, I do too, man. I really do. I hope so. I mean, gosh, that would be
All right, I'm gonna go back
wonderful.
to watching you on regular TV now.
Okay, honey. Okay, I'm gonna remove you. Thank you again, Angela, and please reach out to me with your email. I'm pretty
Did
sure
I
I've
lose
got
you?
your email, but I don't remember.
Yeah. Okay.
So, yeah, please email me, Angela. That way I can stay in touch with you, and just in case Seth's contact at the FBI wants to talk to you, they can. That would be wonderful. So, tip is completed, guys. I appreciate everybody being on here tonight. It's been one hell of a live, and I'm really happy to show you guys the map, to show you my work, to show you the astrology. And Sebastian deserves to be found. His dad deserves to know what happened and to bring him home. It's been a long time coming. Long time coming. And even though I removed you, honey, it's okay. Even though you may think that you don't have a good tip, if you go by somewhere and you think that you see somebody that resembles him, hey, no harm done. No harm done if it's not him. There is harm done if it is him and we don't do anything, right? So that lead with Marcus Salazar, he had all kinds of things to say. And when the push come to shove, whole different ball game. And he is probably, that address that I have of him is probably an hour away, but he said Ardmore, and Ardmore is only an hour from Atoka or Atoka, whatever it is. Yeah, no tip is too small. That's right, Bo. That's right, guys. Thank you so much. Yeah, you're coming home. We will find you, Sebastian. We're going to find you. Blessed be, guys. Thank you, Witchy Mama. That's right. And we love you, Seth. We're, we're going to keep doing the good word to help, to help. I know Sebastian doesn't have an email. I put Angela's in there. It was asking for a complainant. Not the person who was, it was definitely not easy breezy. Yeah, comfy tea and relax. Yeah, same. It's time for me to chill out for a minute and look at these transits. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. Peace out.